While anything can happen at the Olympia, it's hard to imagine anyone other than Hadi and Derek taking the top 2 spots in no particular order. Anything else would be a surprise, to be honest. Consequently, this becomes a battle for 3rd place. While Nick Walker is still in this mix, today's focus is on Andrew Jacked and SAMSON DAUDA. If either of them shows up at 100% and wins the Olympia, it would be a huge moment for bodybuilding, but who's the favorite between the two? Andrew won the Texas Pro in August, while SAMSON just claimed the France Pro, qualifying for the 2025 Olympia. In this video, we'll compare their latest physiques and see who might place higher at the Olympia if they bring similar forms. Unfortunately, this is the best footage we have of SAMSON from this show. While it's not as high quality as Andrew's, it provides everything we need for today's comparison, so let's jump right in. Andrew usually dominates the front poses, while SAMSON excels from the side. Normally, they also split the last 2 poses. The key lies in conditioning and in the back poses, which I'll cover last. Let's dive into the poses and see how they compare and if there are any surprises. Front double biceps. I see many people prefer SAMSON's flow in this pose, and I totally get it. Both look impressive in their own unique way, but personally I favor Andrew's look. His overall flow is more striking and eye-catching to me. I just prefer his more robotic, defined look compared to SAMSON's rounder lines. However, while overall flow may come down to personal preference, the guns, a key focus of this pose, go to Andrew. SAMSON has rounder arms and dominates in forearms, but Andrew's peaky biceps and symmetrical arms tip the scale in his favor. Lastly, despite the lower video quality for SAMSON, it's still clear that Andrew appears more polished in this pose, at least from the front. So all in all, Andrew wins this pose as expected. In the front lat spread, Andrew showcases an even stronger pose. Many consider it his best. If anyone can challenge him, it's SAMSON, who also looks impressive here. I believe he's improved this pose since the Arnolds earlier this year. While some may give it to SAMSON, Andrew is still superior. He's wider with better lats and his midsection looks more refined. I'd even say his legs are comparable to SAMSON's. At this show, SAMSON's quads didn't look as good as we're used to. Overall, Andrew solidifies his victory in the first 2 front poses. Next, let's look at the side poses, which typically favor SAMSON. Their different executions along with the camera angles amplify the contrast in their looks. SAMSON likely has the best chest in the world today, but Andrew's chest looks fantastic in this pose, reminiscent of the golden era. Andrew's challenge lies in the thickness required for this pose in the modern era, especially in the shoulders, arms and forearms, where SAMSON clearly dominates. Additionally, Andrew lacks muscle detail and separation in his side leg. While SAMSON doesn't excel in that area either, he still has the advantage. Overall, SAMSON wins the side chest as expected. The side triceps pose is often debated, with some claiming that if Andrew had a proper execution he could challenge SAMSON. However, I would argue against that, especially after seeing SAMSON nail this pose at the France Pro. He has changed his execution and improved significantly. SAMSON already has the better triceps and overall arm development, along with a thicker upper body, and he wins the side leg again. Ultimately, SAMSON takes both side poses as expected, and I'd say he's even more dominant here than Andrew was in the first 2 front poses. In the abs and thighs pose, the result shouldn't surprise anyone. This is Andrew's strongest pose and arguably SAMSON's weakest. It really comes down to the abs, otherwise SAMSON has great proportions and even better quads than Andrew. However, the shape and definition of his abs are subpar, especially when compared to Andrew's package. I won't spend much more time on this pose. Andrew wins as expected. To even the scale before the back poses, we have the most muscular pose, which, like the abs and thighs, has a clear winner. SAMSON's thick, complete and rounded arms and shoulders easily overshadow Andrew's. There's no debate here. This pose goes to SAMSON, making the score 3-3 before the final 2 poses, the back poses. Over 72% of you watching my videos in the last 3 months are not subscribed. If you are enjoying this content, please consider subscribing. I'm aiming for that 30k milestone and your support means a lot. Thank you. In the back double biceps pose, I initially thought Andrew had finally surpassed Samson after the Texas Pro, and after the France Pro, I didn't think Samson had improved his back that much. However, seeing them side by side, I have to admit that Samson wins in every aspect of this pose. He has superior back thickness, better shoulders, and a stronger lower body. Samson's glutes are dry, at least drier than Andrew's, and while his hamstrings look less impressive than usual, Andrew's are even weaker. Overall, SAMSON DAUDA takes the win in the back double biceps. In the back lat spread, Samson looks good at first glance, but a closer look reveals some distortion due to his leaning backward and the high camera angle. While he does have the advantage in width and a stronger lower body as established in the previous pose, there's a however. Andrew's back now resembles a piece of armor. It's thicker, especially through the center, and his lats appear more defined. I know this will be controversial and debatable, and it's a close call either way, but I'm going with Andrew in this back pose. That makes the final score 4-4. Despite the draw in poses, I'll name a winner for this matchup. In my opinion, if these two physiques faced off on the same stage, Andrew would come out on top due to his superior conditioning, which I believe is enough to tip the scale in his favor. As for who will be the favorite at the Olympia, I have to change my initial prediction from my Mr. Olympia 2024 predictions video where I placed Andrew ahead of Samson. Here's why. This was Andrew's all-time best, while it wasn't for Samson. Although this was a solid version of Samson, he's likely to come in even better at the Olympia, whereas it would be a pleasant surprise if Andrew replicates his Texas physique. He's known for not performing as well at the Olympia as he does at qualifying shows. Let me know your thoughts on this video. Who do you think will place higher at the Olympia? Like for the algorithm, subscribe for more, and thank you for watching. See you next time.